So I like to cover off executive buy-in and funding. How do you get the bosses to actually pay for this stuff? The biggest challenge of them all. How do you get him, who's got 2 minutes with you, to actually go, yep, approved? Well, it's actually quite simple. Look at all the business problems we have. This is just a simple example of challenges that we have in the business, trying to get data together from multiple sources to produce an exact dashboard, or even dealing with XML, tons and tons of XML script for finance audit, slice and dice analytics, and the list goes on. The key is not just to look at every single use case, but pick one that actually has the biggest bang for the buck. You don't need to do them all. So for those of you new to Alteryx, what exactly is it? Because my bosses ask me this all the time. Well, it's really a drag and drop workflow. That's what it is. Where you can see it supports a 3-in-1. It's really a 3-in-1 product. It allows you to prepare data, performs complex spatial analytics, and predictive analytics in it. So one day, what happened is I downloaded the Alteryx trial, spent a couple of hours at night, went through a few different tutorials, and essentially produced a workflow. So in essence, I'd like to share with you my experience with Alteryx. You can see it's actually quite simple because it's all color-coded, right? The green colors represent the acquisition of data, both input and output. And browsing is really critical in this tool because it allows you to actually see the workflow at every stage. This is quite uncommon in most tools. In SQL coding, if you do an inner join, you can't actually see what happened in the left and right join. And you might be losing revenue or losing data that way. Finally, the preparation tools are there where you can actually apply if then else case statements or sort your data sets. Parsing tools are good old text to columns. And in my case, using something like an XML parse. Traditional tools, you have to actually spend hours and hours trying to code and figure out what this XML stuff is all about. And it's really complex because it looks like a tree. And finally, joining different data sets together and summarizing. So downloading the tool to actually doing a financial audit workflow, that actually took me 2 to 3 days. That's incredible for someone who's never seen this tool before. So you just do the online tutorials. And like I say, it looks a little bit complicated, but the real benefit of the tool is you can actually step through your business users one step at a time. And you can actually comment as you go. So each container actually does a simple function. You're able to actually browse and see the output at every stage. That's the key power of the tool. So for example, that's a filter tool where you can actually see which of the records had issues coming out. And that's one of the things that people don't really talk about, issues in the data. For Amazement, it's really critical we understand that because that drives actually revenue and cost. Do things that actually matter, that drive the top line and bottom line, because bosses understand dollars and cents. So in this simple example, we've actually used Alteryx to actually unpack millions of rows of XML data, actually perform an integrity check on our revenue accounts. Finally, it's really important to celebrate success. Where we were, everyone has to have coding experience, and we had a few analysts to do the job. But where we are today, we have got tools like Alteryx and Tableau on Redshift, which allow anyone, not just the BI team, to plug in and have a go. And today we run all our mission-critical processes using these tools, from revenue assurance to working out sales, churn, disconnections. The list goes on and on. But we're on that journey as well. We're not perfect, but we're on that journey. We embrace it and we go, the next step would be to actually look at real-time P&Ls and do a P&L by every single customer. And we're also embarking on the journey to do more advanced analytics around churn.